you, missus?
Like always on a Friday night.
Phone the council in the morning.
Muppets. Right to the council.
Look at you. You've nothing better to do.
Here's some more rubbish if you want.
Put some sticky chewing gum on the floor so you can tread in it. Keep on your shoes.
Is your bedtime, Danny?
Just want to watch something on the TV, all right?
Oh, don't go, Danny, please.
He's scared of his mum.
I ain't scared.
Go to the house in the woods and knock on the door.
Yeah, go on, Danny.
For me, I dare you.
Fine then.
Mum,
Oh, it's gone 11. You've got school in the morning.
did you ever see the ghost? About the house in the woods.
No, because there's no such thing.
Everyone at school said...
I used to go past Wynyard every day when I was at school, and I remember Mr. and Mrs. Barrett. They were very nice people. Do you want me to leave the landing light on?
So why does everyone keep saying it's haunted?
Because it's just a bit old and creepy now, but it used to be very nice. And people like making up stories, but that's all they are. They're just stories.
Mum,
Philip.
when's Danny coming home?
10 minutes ago, so he's 4 when he gets in. Will you put the light out and go to sleep?
kill him.
Philip!
Okay, where is it?
What?
My bike.
I don't know.
Mom! You took it out last night.
I'll get it later, all right?
Oh, that's what I like. Woman in uniform. Any chance of bacon sarnie?
Yeah, if you make it yourself.
Hey, did, I leave a fold around here?
No, not that I remember.
Got Harriet Davis Estates on the cover.
Oh, so it is important then.
And it's a business partnership.
There's only one business you're interested in.
Yeah, you love it. Anyway, listen. If you find it, give us a bell, because it's important.
Anything for me?
Nobody loves you today. Sorry.
Well, no one. I find that hard to believe. What you got? Oh, Midsummer Museum, huh?
It's the conservation group. I'm going to help them with a survey.
What, hedgehogs, badgers and stuff?
The built environment. Architectural conservation. Not small furry animals.
Oh, Giles Cato. He's the custodian of our built environment now, is he?
He's going to make an inventory of at-risk buildings. Factories, barns, old cottages, before the developers get in. And he thought I might like to help.
It's not a pretext for house hunting, is it?
Well, you never know what I might find.
Yeah, no. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, that's very kind.
You leaving us already?
Afraid so.
Oh, no luck then.
Nothing.
Still, must be fun, eh? I'd love to be looking for a new house.
Problem is, we've got a very fixed idea of what we want.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to exist. At least not in Midsummer.
I don't suppose you happen to know of any idyllic little cottages in need of a bit of TLC. We're not afraid of hard work.
Actually, there is one place. I mean, it hasn't been touched for years.
Is it for sale?
Oh, yeah, there's a local builder interested. It could be worth a look, though. Wynyard, it's called. It's in Midsummer Newton. You know Harriet Davis Estates, just along the High Street?
Mm-hmm.
They're handling it, apparently.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Right. Who knows a story? Philip! Well, you haven't had much to say this morning. What stories do you know about the village?
Nothing, miss.
Well, you must know something.
No.
He does, miss. He knows a really good story.
Yes?
I don't, miss.
He does. He told everyone before assembly.
Well, let's hear it then.
Yeah. Miss, please, miss.
Philip!
There's this house, and it's haunted.
Go on.
That's all I know, miss.
Philip, you have a captive audience. We're all agog.
But there isn't anything else to tell, miss.
There is, miss. His brother went there.
I told you not.
Philip!
Well, what's the name of this house?
Wynyard. It's out in the woods.
And it's haunted.
There used to be this horrible old man.
Shh, please.
And they had a mad son.
His And they went mad.
Right.
And they killed their son. And now they're all ghosts.
Calm down. Well, it's a very short story, I must say.
He made it up, miss. It's not made up, miss. My brother's seen the ghosts. Last night, he went in there and he heard like this weird noise. And the ghost called his name. He ran away, but the ghost came out and caught him and held him down. And it had long nails, and it tried to slash his throat.
What did that man want?
Nothing.
Did he ask you anything? Your name, where you lived?
No.
Philip, did he ask you to go anywhere with him after school?
Miss, I'm not stupid. He used to go to this school. He was telling me what it was like in the olden days.
Well, you see that man again, you don't talk to him. You go straight to a grown-up and you tell them. Do you understand?
Yes, miss.
It is one of ours, but I'm afraid it's under offer.
Well, we'd still like to see it.
Can I ask how you heard about it?
One of the girls at the hotel mentioned it. Can we see it?
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Why?
Perhaps you'd like to leave your details? I'll let you know if there's any movement.
But I don't understand why we can't see it.
The vendor is being quite strict. No viewings while under offer. Of course, if it was up to me...
Who is the vendor?
I'm sorry. Client confidentiality.
Well, I hope he's satisfied with the service he's getting here. I wouldn't be.
Mr. Magwood, how are you today?
Yes, I'm fine, thanks. Any news yet?
Nothing, I'm afraid. I did say it could take a while.
Well, it's not even in the window.
No, we're still waiting for the pictures to come back from the printers. Should be this week, though.
See that couple that's just gone out? They're the sort of people who'd be interested in a place like that. Young, plenty of money.
Unfortunately, they're looking for something that's already had the work done. The market is very slow at the moment. We might have to consider dropping the asking price. 20 or 30K.
20 or 30? That place is my pension.
If you want a quick sale. We'll call you as soon as we get a bite.
Well, I suppose you know your business.
Tea's ready. Will you turn that thing off and get in here, the pair of you? Right, I'm off to work. So, you, dishes, you, clearing up. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
I'm telling her.
You're dead.
I want my bike back.
You know where it is.
You left it there. I ain't scared.
So go yourself then.
Oh, it's you. Is this where you live?
Miss Woodall wants to know why she has to put up with that eyesore just so that he can get a decent picture.
She's got a point.
Talk to those two. Spoiling all these lovely little places. Yes, I know your game. You're hand in glove.
You should read this. It's got a horrible history.
Caroline, darling, has taken all afternoon to find the place. Good God.
Okay, now we've seen it.
No wonder that Davis woman was so secretive. Whoever's put that offer in must be terrified of losing it.
Peter! I'm tired, I'm cold, and I want to go home.
Not even locked.
We shouldn't be doing this.
Come on. Amazing.
Peter, I'm scared. Give me the car keys. Peter, please.
They're in the car.
If you're not back in 5 minutes, I'm going without you.
Could do with a drink.
Tom?
No Scott this morning? No, he called in sick. I'm on my own.
Oh, we're sorry you missed this. One for the connoisseur. The postman family. Garroted. Very popular in Spain at one time. Probably why we all went off the Costa Blanca.
And you are?
Constable Jones, sir.
Constable Jones. Oh, they were house hunting?
Mm.
Well, whoever did this must have been waiting for them in the back. What do you think, Constable Jones?
Well, he could only kill them one at a time, couldn't he, sir? So why didn't the other one put up a fight?
And if the other was already killed before the other one got in, why didn't you notice?
Unless there were two murderers.
Well, both hiding in the back.
If the killer did get in here, they must both have been out of the vehicle at the time, leaving it unlocked. Then they got back in.
One at a time.
And he killed them, one at a time.
I don't think I could sit down next to a corpse and not know it, sir.
Whatever you can find that looks interesting and under threat. Pigsties to potting sheds. It's all part of our architectural heritage. We have to catch it and preserve it before it disappears forever. Think of it as protecting endangered species. Everything's going, Joyce. One day we'll step out here and, to quote Larkin, and that will be England gone. The shadows, the meadows, the lanes, the guild halls, the carved choirs. Someone has to say to the Vandals, enough. You threaten the birthright of every freeborn Englishman. Proceed in peril of your life.
It's that serious?
Indeed it is. The day may be near when we must kill to conserve.
Sir, I just found this in the glove box. I thought it looked quite interesting on the back.
Oh, yeah. The Feathers Hotel, Causton. Yes, well done, Jones. Where's this lingo?
Some old house. Looks derelict.
Do you possess a suit, Jones?
Yes, sir.
And a tie?
I do, sir, yes.
How do you fancy working with the CID for a couple of days, eh?
Yes, sir.
Just got the tables to clear and then I'm done. You all right for a minute?
Yeah.
I'll save you for later. Anne, people to see you. Oh, God, we're just about to leave. Sorry. In the dining room.
They said they were house hunting.
Well, they wanted somewhere special that they could do up, and I told them about a house called Wynyard in Midsummer Newton.
Forgive me, but there's not a for sale sign outside that house, is there? So how did you know that it was for sale?
Someone said that Davis Estates had been there, and I told them that it might be worth calling round. I was only trying to help.
be a sweetheart and pop out for some coffee?
We thought it was time we called again.
To see how it's all coming along. We're very excited.
Of course you are.
You had much to do with estate agents, Jones?
Don't trust them, sir. Any of them.
Don't you? I like your suit.
We're very grateful.
And discreet about our matters.
So we'll be hearing from you soon?
I hope so.
Miss Davis?
Harriet Davis, yes.
Afternoon. I'm Detective Chief Inspector Barnaby, Causton CID, and this is Acting Detective Constable Jones. Can we have a word, please?
Of course.
It's Mr. and Mrs. Cave. I believe they came to see you yesterday morning.
I was out yesterday. Roman?
Don't remember them.
It's about a property you're handling, Wynyard.
We have been instructed, but I'm not holding my breath. It's in a hell of a state. Anyway, it's hardly on the market yet.
Mr. and Mrs. Cave were staying at the Feathers Hotel while they were house hunting, and they did say they were coming to see you.
I think I would have remembered.
Perhaps it'll come back to you.
You haven't asked us why we're interested in Mr. and Mrs. Cave.
Parking? Overtaking on a double white line?
Mr. and Mrs. Cave were found dead early this morning, not 200 yards away from Wynyard.
Not exactly giving it the hard sell, is she? Garden sheds go for $500,000 in midsummer.
And that suggests to you?
She was lying. Wynyard's got a whole chapter to itself. In 1795, Margaret Peat hanged herself from a beam in the kitchen. 1820, a child of 3, missing for some days, fished out of the well, dead. 1916, 2 sons killed in northern France.
Not a lucky house, then, eh?
Apparently not.
We'd better take a closer look at Wynyard.
Well, it's certainly got an atmosphere.
Neglect.
Have a look in here, sir. Amazing, though, they sort of nick it all. Not in tune.
Perhaps this
is where our murder weapon came from.
Yes.
Do you think the cave's got this far? Maybe someone caught them poking around.
Leslie and Barbara Flux. Find out where they live, Jones.
Sir.
Ye are come well. Ye are welcome. Ye are welcome.
What's that about, then? That's a generous sentiment. Mr. Flux, Mr. Leslie Flux?
Yes?
I'm Detective Chief Inspector Barnaby. This is D.C. Jones. May we come in, please?
Yes. Come in.
Thank you.
My wife, Barbara.
How do you do?
How do you do? I do hope we're not interrupting anything. Are you rehearsing a play, perhaps?
No, don't you mind us.
No. No, we're working on a new book. Festivals of Old Midsummer.
We like to live in the spirit of the past.
To live the past is to understand the past. If only we had the space.
We need a bigger stage. A house where we can bring full expression to our theories.
Like Wynyard, perhaps.
Ah, yes. Can I assume that your visit's to do with the murders?
You don't sound very surprised.
You expect it with a house like that. This is the cause of all the problems at Wynyard.
What is it?
It's a human heart. It's stuck with thorns and pins, hidden in the chimney.
The hearth is the heart of the house. Curse the hearth and you curse the house.
The idea is to harm anyone living in the house.
And you took this from Wynyard?
We rescued it. Of course, we'll return it as soon as the new owners settle in.
And you think this is the reason why Wynyard has stood empty all these years?
Empty, but not deserted. There's still a presence, protecting the house.
What from?
Well, you see what's happened to Midsummer. Hideous conservatories all over the place. Hacienda-style bungalows.
And who's behind it? Builders and estate agents.
You were in Harriet Davis Estates this morning. You left as we arrived.
Ah, yes. Harriet Davis.
Leslie.
No, perhaps it needs saying. That woman has been systematically raping Midsummer.
But she won't get away with it for much longer.
Houses like Wynyard have souls. They need to be loved, nurtured.
Thank you, sir.
Weirdos or what? They seriously want that house, don't they? And the Kays had a copy of their book, and they were at the estate agents this morning.
What do you make of the ghost stories?
Just want to sell their little books, don't they?
And they don't want anyone else to buy that house.
Joyce! Do you know, I've found places I didn't even know existed. I bet you didn't know there's a nuclear fallout shelter just by Badger's Drift.
No, I did not. I thought you said this survey was all about buildings under threat.
It is.
Hmm. Well, what sort of threat could you pose to a nuclear fallout shelter? I mean, if it's designed to withstand a nuclear blast.
Have you got a minute, sir?
Yeah.
That's a lovely bit of cheese. Are you going to have some?
No, I've had my tea.
I thought I'd do some ghost hunting. I left this at the house last night.
Not bad. Sit up straight, though. Hear the difference?
Yeah.
Now, try again.
A ghost who gives piano lessons.
Could be our murderer, sir.
Yeah. And our murder weapon was a piano wire, wasn't it? Boy didn't sound frightened, did he?
I hope I wasn't out of line, sir.
No, you were not, Jones. Well done. Look, I think it best you go down to the school, see if you can find out who this lad is.
All right, calm down now.
It was the ghost, miss. The same ones that got Philip's brother.
How many more times there are no ghosts?
Miss, my dad's friend's a postman, and he found the dead people, and he said that their heads have been chopped off.
Well, then Daddy's friend is a thoroughly irresponsible person for saying so now. Someone who really knows what happened is going to come and tell you. So you won't have to make up any more silly stories.
Is it the postman, miss?
No, it's a policeman.
They're only children, Jones. Remember, smile. Be reassuring. I'll pick you up in about an hour, okay?
We get a lot of time wasters, you see. People trying to fill up a wet afternoon, no intention of buying. But we both suddenly remembered the couple you were asking about.
Did you think Mr. and Mrs. Cave were time wasters?
The point is, the vendor's instructions are that Wynyard should go to the right sort of people.
Right sort of people.
He doesn't want to see it spoiled. Mr. and Mrs. Cave look like the sort who would... Well, I think they had plans. You get to know the sort.
Well, I'm sure you do. You don't perhaps have a buyer lined up already, do you?
I'm the agent for the vendor. It's my job to get the best price I can for him.
Mr. and Mrs. Fluck seem very interested in the property.
I don't think they're in a position to make an offer on anywhere like Wynyard.
Who is the vendor?
He wishes to remain anonymous.
Oh, does he? Well, can I remind you that 2 people who were interested in one of your properties have been found dead very close to that property. Now, I suppose I could caution you.
Magwood. Charlie Magwood. He lives in London, but he's staying at the Feathers.
Thank you.
Well?
I only said it for a joke.
Well, 2 people have died, Philip. Now, I think that you should tell the others that you made those stories up. Will you do that?
I keep telling them there's no such thing as ghosts.
Good lad.
Sir?
Where did you get this?
Found it. It's got a bell on it and it's a police car.
I'm sure that's the lad we heard on the tape.
In which case, what was he doing at Wynyard?
Well, it wasn't really the moment to ask him, sir, but I've got his address. How did you get on with Davis?
Oh, she finally admitted that the Caves had been into the office. But she told them she couldn't let them view the house. Strict instructions from the vendor.
She's got another buyer lined up. Any money, she's on a backhander to make sure they get it, too.
Someone like the Fluxes, perhaps.
Bit out of their reach, wouldn't you say, sir?
Unless they've got some sort of hold over her.
Philip showed me one of these, too.
You must talk to that lad first chance you get, okay?
I will.
Where is this?
Midsummer Newton. Sweet, isn't it?
This is more than sweet, Joyce. And now you're going to tell me someone has applied for permission to do something unspeakable to it.
I got a copy of the planning application. It's a big extension.
Do we know the name of the person applying to commit this atrocity?
Local builder, Jerry Moore.
Jerry Moore. I think I'm going to need time to take this in. But a first-class effort so far. Well done, Joyce.
Mr. Maywood?
Yes?
Morning, sir. I'm Detective Chief Inspector Barnaby from Corson CID, and this is Acting Detective Constable Jones. We'd like, if we may, to ask you a few questions.
Oh, be my guest.
Thank you.
Right, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
A house called Wynyard.
Yeah?
You've got it on the market, haven't you, with the Davis Estates up there on the High Street?
Yeah, for all the good it's doing. 3 weeks now she's been saying there's been no interest, which I can't believe. I've come down from London to wake her up a bit.
How long have you owned the property, sir?
I was evacuated here during the war. Damn, drafty old place. But the couple were very nice. They had no kids of their own, so they left the place to me.
And when was this?
Oh, years ago now.
So what made you suddenly decide to sell it?
Well, I'm getting on a bit now and the missus is dead. I thought, must be worth a few bob.
Have you been there recently?
No, not inside. It's in a hell of a state. I just said to the estate agent, do the best you can. Just quick sale, that's all I want.
Listen, the planning is a formality. So just push the sale through. It will take 6 weeks max for the rebuild. We get it back on for another 200k. We're 50-50. We move on to the next one.
The police are all over the place.
Well, they can't connect you to the murders.
No? 2 people who've been in my office that very morning asking about the house. Wake up. Then there's that couple of weirdos from the same village.
What, Les and Barbara Flux?
They know I'm involved with you.
How?
What we're doing is illegal. You do understand that?
Yeah, don't worry about them. I'll soon sort them out.
No. Let me deal with them. We have to take our time with this.
How much time have you got?
Enough for you, no doubt. But nowhere near enough for me. As usual.
Tell you what, I'll owe you one.
She won't be long. Why don't you sit over there and read a magazine?
Jack! Jack!
Billy?
Mrs. Merrick.
Yes.
Acting D.C. Jones. I spoke to Philip at school today.
He's in his bedroom. Come in. I have told him. I don't want him going anywhere near that house in the woods. That is why you've come to talk to him, isn't it?
Yes.
Philip! Philip! The little... I am so sorry.
Just give me a call when he turns up. I need to talk to him urgently, Mrs. Merrick.
Have you seen Philip?
No.
Were you in the hotel?
What hotel?
Where my mum works, in Causton. I called out, but you didn't see me.
I haven't been to Causton.
Well, I thought he was you.
Yeah, well, don't worry, Philip. Now, let's see if we can get this going, eh?
Mrs. Barnaby's doing sterling work. Was that what you wanted to see me about?
No, it wasn't. I would like, please, your opinion on this. You've seen that before, haven't you?
I'm aware of it, yes.
Oh, but you don't rate it professionally.
Many great men began their careers as amateurs. Mr. and Mrs. Flux are, however, what one might call rank amateurs. Rank in the sense of being off.
So it's not a proper history book?
Have you met Mr. and Mrs. Flux?
Yes, we have.
You mustn't confuse amateur dramatics with genuine scholarship.
They are very interested in a house called Wynyard.
They think it's haunted.
Oh, dear God. Wynyard is a very special house, very special indeed, but haunted, please.
They are passionate about it.
Yes, well, let's hope we can protect it from the misguided enthusiasm of the likes of Leslie and Barbara Flux.
You're not perhaps interested in the property yourself, are you?
From a conservation point of view, yes.
Have you been to the house?
No, not yet, but I'll have to go.
Oh, no, please, I beg you, don't go.
I'm not frightened of ghosts.
No, two people have been murdered very close to that house, Mr. Cato. And anyone who's been up there in the last 48 hours, they're on our list of suspects. It is a crime scene, so I'm telling you, don't go.
Certainly gets them all worked up, doesn't it?
Yeah. My guess is he saw the house was on the market and wanted it all to himself.
Hello? Oh, Mrs. Merrick. Uh-huh. I'm coming over.
What?
Philip's been taking food from the hotel. She wants me to have a word with him.
I'll drop you off. I wouldn't mind half an hour up at the house on my own. Soak up some of that atmosphere.
The chef's noticed things disappearing all the time. You know, just silly little things like bread, cheese, fruit. I could lose my job.
Why's he been stealing food?
No idea. And then I saw him calling to some old man like he knew him. Of course, he didn't.
What old man is this?
Just a man staying at the hotel. He's a nice enough chap, but, I mean, you never know, do you?
Right, I better get going. Give me a call when he gets in.
Where the hell have you been?
Nowhere.
Oh, I know when you're lying.
Hold on. Philip, this is important. Where have you been?
The house in the woods.
And what did I tell you about that place?
What were you doing up there?
Looking round.
Come on, tell the truth, Philip.
Were you with anyone?
No.
Did you see anyone?
Philip?
An old man in a suit with shiny shoes and a stripy tie.
What are you talking about?
Philip, I get very annoyed when people play games with me. While his mum's worried sick about him, thinks he's been taking the food to some old man at the house.
Yes, he's probably right. Saw the biscuits. And an orange on the table.
The man he was talking to on my tape, I thought he meant it was Charlie Magwood. But his mum said the lad saw him at the hotel, but Charlie didn't recognize him.
So who is this man who leaves his tuning fork behind after teaching the boy to play piano, eh?
And is that the same person who takes wire out of the piano to garrote Mr. and Mrs. Cave? We should stake the place out, sir.
No, let's see who else it attracts.
No, Babs. Let me have a go.
Oh, wait, Leslie. I think I'm getting the hang of it.
You can't make a sound basket with an imperfect bottomer. It says so in the book.
I'm sorry to interrupt you again. Would you mind?
Babs is in a tangle with her willow wands.
There's a couple of points I'd like to clear up, if I may. When a house gets a reputation for being cursed or haunted, that'll have the effect of putting off prospective buyers, don't you think? You have created just such a reputation for Wynyard, haven't you?
Did you kill Mr. and Mrs. Cave for the same reason? To discourage anyone else from putting in an offer?
No. We're not murderers.
Did you see anyone at Wynyard who might be? Because if they saw you...
You're not suggesting that that Babs and I are in danger.
Just tell us who you've seen.
Do you mind if we go inside?
We seem to have got embroiled in something.
We're not used to this sort of thing.
All we wanted was somewhere we could cherish.
I told you, Barbara, we should never have got involved. We should never have trusted that woman.
Do you mean Harriet Davis?
Yes.
How exactly are you involved with her?
We couldn't afford Wynyard at the price she was asking.
We knew what she was up to with the builder. She'd be handling a property and telling the vendor it wasn't selling. Then she'd let the builder have it at a ridiculous price. He'd give it a quick makeover, double the price, and they'd split the profit.
It's the oldest trick in the book.
So what did you do?
We went to see Harriet Davis and we suggested that she might let us have Wynyard at a discount.
In return for keeping your mouth shut about her other activities, yes?
Yes.
You blackmailed her?
We encouraged her to do something decent for once.
One final question. When did you last tune the piano? Time to tighten the screws on Harriet Davis. You good for that, Detective?
Oh, I think so, sir.
And I'll talk to the solicitor supposedly acting for Mr. Magwood.
And you think he's in on the scam, too?
Oh, but it's summer mafia, Jen.
Thank you very much. That's great. Thank you.
Cheers, Al. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Still acting, Constable Jones?
No, miss. This is for real.
Well, I'm afraid you're too late to put in an offer on this one. I've just sold it.
Oh, shame. I'll have to keep looking, won't I? What about Wynyard? Any movement there? I was wondering if you'd had any interest from a Mr. Giles Cato, curator of the Midsummer Museum.
I have had a visit from Mr. Cato, yes, but his interest is purely in the conservation aspect.
Meaning he doesn't want it falling into the hands of someone like Jerry Moore.
Does DCI Barnaby know you're out on your own, Constable?
Mr. and Mrs. Flux told us that their interests were purely in the conservation aspect, too. But that's not true, is it?
I've told you they're fantasists. They come out of the woodwork whenever a place like Wynyard hits the market.
They've got you in a position where you'll have to make them an offer.
I don't know what they've been saying.
Of course you do. And the offer you make them won't be in the best interests of the vendor, will it? Does Mr. Magwood know you're about to sell him down the river so that you can get yourself out of difficulty with Mr. and Mrs. Flux?
If Mr. Magwood isn't happy with the service he's getting from me, he's perfectly at liberty to instruct another agent.
Mr. Magwood's a pensioner, Miss Davis, and I think you and Jerry Moore saw him coming. An old man down from London, and you thought he'd be a pushover, didn't you? Till Mr. and Mrs. K found the house of their dreams. Is that why you killed them? With the help of Jerry Moore, of course.
Maddie, could you bring in the Magwood file, please? It's the old man from London with the tumble-down house. My predecessor, Geoffrey Hollington, died with his boots on. He was 73 and he put down roots. It's taking a while for me to get to terms with his rather antiquated filing system. Ah, Mandy, thanks very much. Great. Right. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. Yes, they've got the property on with one of the more enterprising local estate agents, actually. OK. How can I help?
I'm investigating a double murder that took place close to Wynyard. And I was hoping you'd be able to help me with some of the recent history of the place.
My God.
Mr. Magwood seems very keen to sell, and I understand there are a number of potential buyers for the house. That included two people who were killed.
This is awful. Ah, sorry. Hang on. Please, sit down.
Thank you.
Well, this file hadn't seen any action for 15 years or more, when suddenly Mr. Magwood's brother Charles turns up with power of attorney saying that Jack wants to sell the property.
His brother? So that Magwood actually selling the house is not the legal owner?
No. No, but the papers are all in order. Here's Jack Magwood's signature. So I released the deeds to his brother, and as far as I know, the sale's going ahead. Actually, it did put me into rather a quandary.
Oh.
Well, a couple of days ago, I had a visit from someone who said that she'd heard the property was up for sale. And I confirmed that was the case. However, the lady was adamant that the legal owner did not want to sell.
But the legal owner is Jack. How did she know?
Well, she wouldn't say. She just kept on telling me she knew what he wanted.
And the name of this lady?
Well, it's Miss Woodall. Grace Woodall. Sunnybank Row, Midsummer Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Harcourt. Thank you very much.
Don't think, Jerry, you never think.
The police have been back to talk to me. Again. They're onto us. They think we did the murders.
Hold on. We?
They know we're working together.
You're the agent.
Oh, no, you don't. We're gonna drop this one now. It was good while it lasted, but it's over.
No way. I have got too much invested in this, and Wynyard's going to be our best earner yet.
It might have been if you kept your mouth shut.
Listen, I haven't said anything to anybody.
Well, you explain to me how that couple, the Caves, knew that Wynyard was on the market. No? They heard it from your little single mother up in the council houses.
Now, what are you talking
the one
about?
who works in the feathers. Now, I don't care if you are shagging her. What I do care about is that you don't discuss our business while you're doing it.
Listen, I haven't told her anything.
It's finished. I should have known you wouldn't be able to handle it.
Listen, Harriet, I am warning you. If you try and cut me out
You're
of this
already out. And if the police do come back to me, I won't be going down on my own.
Excuse me. Sorry to bother you.
Not at all, dear lady.
I wonder if you could help me with some directions. I'm looking for a house called Wynyard.
Wynyard? I'm afraid you're well out of the way.
Well, it doesn't seem to be marked on this map.
No. Your best bet is to go... Yes. Out of the village.
What? Back that way?
You'll come to a main road. Turn right and keep going for about 5 miles.
5 miles? Are you sure?
You're in completely the wrong neck of the woods.
Oh, you know, I thought I was quite close.
Oh, no, you're well out of your way. Sorry.
Well, thank you.
Jerry Moore's favourite, sir. He and Harriet Davis definitely in it together.
So did Ms. Davis confess?
Not on tape, sir, but we should bring them in.
No, hang on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Listen, Jones. Charlie Megwood has got a brother. And Wynyard actually belongs to that brother. Now, I want you to go and have another word with young Philip. Do you remember him saying the old man he saw up at the house used to go to his school?
You think that's who he's been stealing the food for? Charlie's brother?
Yeah.
Turn right there. Left again at the bottom and you're there.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
OK. I should have said before, the house belongs to my brother Jack.
Why didn't you tell us you had a brother, Mr. Megwood?
Well, he's in prison for murdering a copper. It's not the sort of thing you talk about.
Well, I'd like you to talk about it to me, Mr. Megwood.
Well, it's 18 years ago now. He killed a young PC, Colin Armstrong, in Hatton Garden. I don't want to go through it all. Why don't you do your own homework?
What would be really helpful at this stage, Mr. Megwood, is a clear idea of your brother Jack's connection with Wynyard.
We was evacuated there. We was very lucky, I suppose. The Barretts were a very nice couple. Of course, typical Jack, charmer. They were eating out of his hands in 5 minutes. Couldn't do enough for him. Me, I never liked it. I miss my mum and dad. But after the war, Jack used to come down and visit them. And of course, nobody's surprised. They left him the house. But he's inside, isn't he? So the place stayed the way it was the day they died.
Did you get on with your brother?
Oh, we're very different people.
This power of attorney, why did your brother Jack suddenly ask you to sell the house after all this time?
Well, he's due to be released in a couple of months, so he's thinking what to do about money. So he gave me the power of attorney and asked me to sell the place.
I wish you'd told us all this at the start, Charlie.
Yeah. I didn't think.
It's not stealing. They got loads of food in there.
Were you hungry?
My mum hasn't got much money. It was lunches for me and Danny.
I don't believe you, Philip. And I know where you got that car you showed me.
There was this man in the playground.
What did I tell you?
Go on.
He said he used to come to school here when he was little. Then I went to the house in the woods, because my brother left my bike there, and I saw him again. He said he used to live there. He's really nice. He's teaching me to play the piano. He never did those murders. I know he didn't. I want to go home now, miss. I want to see my mum.
Thanks, Philip. But stay away from that house. Understand?
It's all here. And I've been on to Layfield Open Prison, where Jack Magwood is serving a life sentence for the murder of PC Colin Armstrong.
The Hatton Garden robbery?
Yes, the one.
I remember reading about that case.
He absconded a week ago. There's an all ports call out for him.
So, Wynyard is owned by a convicted killer. He escapes from prison, and a couple of days later, 2 people are found murdered near the house.
I wonder if these 2 brothers aren't one and the same man, eh? Got a uniform all around the hotel, so tomorrow, first thing, we go and ask Charlie if his name is Jack. Joyce! Joyce!
The man he was talking to on my tape, I thought he meant it was Charlie Magwood. But his mum said the lad saw him at the hotel, but Charlie didn't recognize him.
Jones, Wynyard, straight away, and bring some backup. Stay where you are. Joyce, get that boy aside now. Stay where you are.
No! Come on, no one's going to hurt him, I promise.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Right, on your feet. Jack Magwood, I'm arresting you for the murders of Peter and Caroline Cave.
He hasn't done anything. He hasn't.
It's all right. Stupid old fool. 18 years he's done. He's only weeks away from his release date. I don't know what he's playing at.
Oh, we were rather hoping that you would tell us.
Oh, I can't understand it.
Are you quite sure, Charlie, that Jack really wanted to sell that house?
Well, put it this way. He might not have wanted to, but he knew he had to.
Now, I don't know whether you've heard this, Charlie, but 2 people have been found dead not a couple 100 yards away from Wynyard. They were both murdered. And we know they were interested in buying that house.
And now we discover your brother, a convicted murderer.
No, not Jack. No, I know he's reckless, but no, he wouldn't. He couldn't have.
Hall. I'm Detective Chief Inspector Barnaby from Corston CID. This is DC Jones. I'd be extremely grateful if you could let us have a moment, please. You went to see Jack Magwood's solicitor about Wynyard. Why did you do that?
I'd heard it was up for sale.
And you told the solicitor that Jack didn't want to sell it?
Yes.
How did you know Jack didn't want to sell it?
I know Jack Magwood. I know how he feels about the place. He would never sell it.
Jack Magwood been staying with you during the last few days?
Jack's in Layfield Prison.
No, Miss Woodhall. Jack Magwood is in custody in Causton, under arrest on suspicion of murder.
Not Jack.
Afraid so.
Oh, not again. It couldn't happen again.
So if you have been harbouring him, you could be charged as an accessory to murder.
Jack Magwood is not a murderer. He never was and he never will be. He was put away for something he didn't do. Ask anyone who knows him.
We've done that, Miss Woodall. Had a long chat, very long chat with his brother Charlie.
Ah, yes, and I can guess what Charlie told you as well. I know Jack. I know him very well. We grew up together. Look. That was us when we were young. They were the best years of our lives.
You remember the Barretts?
They were the parents Jack should have had, not that feckless bunch back in London. Did you know Jack won a scholarship to Causton Grammar? He was heading for university, Oxford, Cambridge. But the family made him go back to London and work on a fruit and veg stall. Can you imagine what that did to him?
What can you tell us about the murder of P.C. Armstrong?
It was what killed the Barretts.
Seeing Jack go to prison.
Seeing him go to prison for something he hadn't done. And then when the appeal was turned down, well, they gave up hope. We all gave up hope.
But the evidence against Jack was very compelling.
They never found the gun, though, did they? That was the problem. Jack never held a gun in his life. If they'd found the gun, they would have known it wasn't Jack. You know, he refused to say anything in his own defence.
Yes. Why do you think that was?
He was frightened. The Magwoods were mixed up in all sorts in those days. Charlie knew Jack was innocent. I think he probably even knew who'd done it. He could have spoken up for Jack, but he wouldn't. I suppose he was scared as well. I'll be glad when he's gone.
Well, if he's disturbing you, I can have a word.
I wouldn't mind if it was just the hammering and banging, but the arguments...
Who's he arguing with?
Oh, that estate agent, Harriet Davis. You should have heard them. I thought he was going to kill her.
Are you sure it was Harriet Davis?
Of course I'm sure. She said the police were after her. You want someone for the murders? You ask him.
Take a D for nicking that.
Will you tell me why you walked out of Layfield prison, Mr. Magwood?
I wanted to see where I used to live.
Just 3 months before you were released. We've been talking with your brother.
How is Charlie?
You'd given him power of attorney, or had you? We've also had a very interesting conversation with Grace Woodhall. She was telling us all about Mr. and Mrs. Barrett, and about the house. Did you walk out of prison to try and stop your brother selling Wynyard? Did you murder Peter and Caroline Kay because you thought they were going to buy it? Did you murder P.C. Colin Armstrong?
I don't want to appear rude, but I don't talk about it. I didn't then, and I won't now. It's just a rule with me. I never talk about it.
his estates? Tonight? Okay. About 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you just like to keep calm, I'm sure there's a very simple explanation. David! So if we can just... Sorry. Just have... Is this for real? I have absolutely no idea. If we could just get everybody outside and then we'll take a roll call.
Okay, everyone this way.
Harry? Harriet!
Garroted. Same MO as the caves.
Any luck tracing that call?
Phone box in the village. Male voice. It's got to be the builder, sir. I've put a call out for him and uniform at his house now.
And the hotel?
False alarm, sir. All the guests are accounted for.
Charlie Magwood?
Eventually. Claims he got used to alarms in the Blitz. Said he went for a stroll round the block.
Does he indeed?
Same person killed the caves, then?
Which rules out Jack Magwood, doesn't it, who spent last night in the prison cells. I'm beginning to think the Fluxes were right about this place.
All that stuff about the heart. They made it up, didn't they?
It's a human heart stuck with thorns and pins and hidden in the chimney.
The hearth is the heart of the house. Curse the hearth and you curse the house.
The hearth is the heart of the house. Curse the hearth and you curse the house. Wonder what else might be hidden up that chimney.
George!
I want you to get onto the Met. I want the fingerprints of everyone involved in the shooting of P.C. Armstrong.
Sir.
Look what we found up the chimney. Do anything with that? Been there a long time. Yeah, 18 years, I reckon. I just want to know whose fingerprints are on the trigger. Barnaby. No. You did the right thing. We'll be right over. Grace Woodall. Got another row going on next door.
Listen, I don't know who you are or what you're talking about, but what I suggest is that you get back in your car and you drive away. And if I hear that you've said to anyone anything about me and my business affairs...
You're a married man, aren't you, Mr. Moore? Perhaps your wife would like to know how you spend your afternoon.
I'll kill you, you filthy bastard! Jerry Moore!
I'm arresting you on suspicion.
I'm not giving up, Mr. Moore. Don't think this means I'm giving up.
Under arrest, too.
You killed her, you bastard! You killed her!
Jerry Moore's got a powerful motive for killing her.
So does Cato. I don't quite see that, do you?
Not really.
I'm going to have another go at Jack. You take some backup. Bring Charlie Magwood in. I want to see those two brothers face to face.
Mike, it's all over. They've got the murderer.
It's a message for you, Mr. Magwood.
Thank you.
Jack, I think it's time to make a clean break with the past. Don't you?
You mean, tell the truth?
Yeah, that'll be it.
The store wasn't making any money. Not enough to keep the whole family. It was down to me to do something about it. I only needed to do one job. Make enough to see us all through. That copper hadn't shown up. I pointed the gun at him, pulled the trigger, and ran. And the rest, as they say, is history.
But it's not history, is it, Jack? It is here, and it is now. That's been lying in a chimney for the last 18 years where you hid it. That's the gun that killed PC Colin Armstrong. That's the gun that you hid at Wynyard. There's a couple of sets of prints on that gun, Jack. Yours and Charlie's.
Yeah, I know. I tried to make Charlie take it, but he wouldn't.
Charlie's prints are on the trigger. Yours are only on the barrel. He made you take the gun, didn't he, and hide it. You didn't kill Colin Armstrong. Charlie did.
No.
Yes. Look, Jack, you've served 18 years for a crime committed by your brother, the same brother that's trying to frame you for the murders of Peter and Caroline Cave.
I know you've got a job to do, but...
It was Grace who told you that Charlie was trying to sell Wynyard, wasn't it? That's why you walked out of Layfield prison, to try and stop him. But once Charlie discovered that you were out, he killed the Caves, then tried to make it look as if you'd done it. Then Harriet Davis tried to cheat him, so he killed her too, not realizing that you were in custody at the time. Jack, your brother does not deserve your loyalty.
Loyalty? It's got nothing to do with loyalty.
Then tell me what it is.
We are identical twins.
Yeah, but Charlie is not you. You are not Charlie. The law recognizes the difference. Grace knows the difference.
The law? The law doesn't know how it feels. There's only one thing we're different in. Charlie was tougher, but I was luckier. I got the brains. I got the talent. I was the one that everybody loved. Charlie got all the bad bits. That wasn't his fault. It was an accident.
Jack, what you allowed to happen all those years ago was a gross miscarriage of justice, and it's still going on, isn't it? 3 more people have died. You've been a bloody fool, but it's time to call a stop to it.
Turn that machine off.
It's not on. Just tell the truth, Jack.
Truth? I'm not sure I know what the truth is anymore. Well, I told you about the money problems, that was true. Our little store couldn't keep Charlie in suits and cars. He had debts. People after him. They would have murdered him. One night he got a gun, went down to Hatton Garden. When he'd done what he did, came running back into the market. He was scared. pushed the gun at me, asked me to hide it. The next morning, I came down here. I wrapped it up in one of Mrs. Barrett's aprons and hid it in the chimney. I'm sure Charlie didn't mean to shoot him. It was an accident.
You willing to repeat what you just told me on the tape?
I appreciate what you're doing. It's too late.
There's no sign of Charlie. He's checked out of the hotel.
Get a warrant out for Charlie's arrest, will you? I'm driving Jack back to Layfield Prison myself. If both of them have to end up inside because this one is too pig-headed to tell the truth in court, then so be it. One last look. Do you want a minute to yourself? Just to say goodbye?
Yeah, thank you.
Here, Jack.
Come on, leave it! Come on! Yes, sir. That's enough now. Let go! Leave it, maggot!
You think you've done him a favour? You think good he's going to be a free man at last? You know what? He'll never be free! He's stuck with me until the day he dies, whether he likes it or not!
Sir, what? That message you sent to Charlie, was it, you know...
Was it what?
Well, a way of getting Charlie... No, it's nothing, sir.
You're not suggesting, are you, that I deliberately used Jack as a bait to get Charlie here?
Not at all.
Well, because that would have been a very high-risk strategy, Constable.
Exactly, sir.
You put in 2 requests, haven't you? Transfer to CID.
Well, I'm keen to move on, sir. Broaden my experience.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Yes, he is. And it's good to see the old house being cared for again, Jack.
Yeah, we're going to have a new bathroom and central heating.
When I sold my cottage.
Now, that's the music I like to hear, and I could murder.
Tom!
What?
Anyone for tea?